Out of all of the rogue decks on the Pokemon TCG, United Wings seems to be a little bit forgotten about. It has many good attributes that make up a good deck, but it's had a couple problems, including ways to discard Pokemon and ways to deal with that pesky Sableye. But today, I've crafted a new United Wings deck with a bunch of Paradox Rift cards that I think makes it really good and able to contest with a lot of the current metagame. So today, we're going to hop right into the video and see what my United Wings deck list looks like. Just want to give a quick thank you to the sponsor of the channel, PTCGL Store. If you need codes, you know where to go. Head over to ptcgostore.com and use code HITMON to get 5% off your order. You get a good product for a good price, and you help out the channel as well. So thank you to the sponsor for supporting me, and thanks to you for supporting me too. And now, we'll get right back into the video. What is going on, everybody? Hitmon Channel here, back again with another Pokemon trading card game online deck tech. Today we're taking a look at United Wings on PTCG Live. I am very excited to show off this list. I've been experimenting with it for a while, and it feels like it came to me in a dream. I was like, there's so many good new cards from Paradox Rift. Why don't we make United Wings a lot better than it was before? And now I'm really happy to show this list off. So we're going to go into a little bit of detail here. Obviously, if you don't know what it does, United Wings does 20 damage times the amount of Pokemon in your discard that have the United Wings attack. So we have Flamigo with United Wings, Murkrow with United Wings, and Wattrel with United Wings that all have this attack. So we play 4 of each of them. Flamigo's got the extra bonus in the Insta-Flock ability, so when you play it onto your bench, you can get 3 United Wings Pokemon and put them right into your hand. This synergizes really well with cards like Ultra Ball, which we can use to discard them and get more Pokemon, Professor's Research, Zinnia's Resolve, all that good stuff. And one of the brand new innovations, I think, of this deck is Earthen Vessel, because you want to have ways to discard cards. Before, you didn't have to. So you had to play Curlia, you had to play Squawkabilly because you just didn't have discard. But that came with a 2-prize liability and a pretty poor draw engine for the amount of cards this deck needs to succeed. So Earthen Vessel, we play 3 copies in here, and I think it's actually really, really strong. Now, including, you know, all those Pokemon, we do have 2 copies of Ditto with Sudden Transformation, which will let us use any attack of a basic non-rule box Pokemon from our discard pile, which means that we can use United Wings while having 4 Murkrow, 4 Wattrel, and 4 Flamigo in the discard pile, which is really, really solid. We're rocking a 2-2 Bibarel line for draw this time around because I think being able to fill your hand helps you a lot against Roxanne, and it is just really, really good in pulling off multiple discards in a single turn. In terms of, you know, other support Pokemon, we got Manaphy, we got Jirachi from Paradox Rift to help us deal with Sableye, and we have the spicy tech that I've opted to include in Radiant Charizard. Now, the reason for Radiant Charizard is simple. If your opponent is using Iron Hands EX, you know, you could run into a couple problems. So I've opted to include Radiant Charizard along with Magma Basin to accelerate a fire energy, then attach a double turbo energy to the Charizard, putting it to do 230 damage, and it can go ahead and take a knockout on an Iron Hands EX. So I'm very happy with being able to do this with, you know, this is kind of my way to counter Iron Hands. I was thinking of playing the Dynablade Gallade from, I think it's from Chilling Rain or Evolving Skies or one of those sets, which is a fighting type, so it can easily knock out Iron Hands in one hit. But I think this version is a lot better. It's more consistent, and Radiant Charizard is good in a lot of matchups, like Chen Pao. It's really, really good into Rapid Strike. It's really, really good into Charizard. So having Radiant Charizard as an option, I think, is really strong, and we can also recycle it and use it multiple times thanks to our copy of Super Rod. Now, in terms of other Paradox Rift cards that are really, really good, Counter Catcher is in here. We have 3 of them, and this deck can tend to fall behind a little bit as you're ramping up your damage, so being able to do something like a Counter Catcher Research to discard or a Counter Catcher Roxanne when your opponent goes down to 3 prizes is really strong, and we do have that 1 Boss's Orders for Aggressive Gust as well. 4 Level Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, and 1 Heavy Ball is kind of a standard situation here. 1 Rope, 1 Switch to get our Bibarels and stuff out of the active if they get stuck, and energy-wise 4 Dark, 2 Fire, and 4 Double Turbo, and that's basically the list. I'm very excited to show it off today, so we're gonna hop into some games and get some dubs with United Wings. Our opponent won the coin flip. Tails never fails. They're going to choose to go first, which is actually really good for us. We want to be going second here, and we'll see what exactly they are going to do against us. This is a pretty decent hand. I don't mind starting Wattrel, depends what the matchup is. It's going to be Roaring Moon, which is actually completely okay. We have Level Ball to get a bunch of our Pokemon in the discard pile. If they get a full board, we can Zinnia them all away. If not, we can just research. Yeah, this is actually a pretty solid start. They got their Squawk, they got their Ninja, they got their full setup. Now, it depends if they play the water energies or not. That kind of depends how our turn is going to go. Again, we have kind of multiple multi-prize plays against each other. For example, they can, you know, go for, they're playing Lightning Energies, they can go for Iron Hands, they can go for a Greninja, Energy Switch Greninja play. They can do all that, but we can Counter Catcher KO their Squawk ability. So that's also a decent shout for us to do as well. The Ultra Ball here, we're going to see what they get. They do have the Iron Hands in the deck, which they're absolutely going to try and use. So they can take 2 prizes, but then we can return it with Radiant Charizard or return it with KO and the Squawk ability. Playing Cross Switchers as well. This deck seems to be really clunky, and I think we're going to try and play off of that a little bit. If we can just get a nice poke on the Roaring Moon, that would be really good. Again, they need to put stadiums into play to KO our Radiant Charizard, our Flamigo with Roaring Moon. If they can't, then we're going to be doing okay. And that looks like the turn for them, which is pretty solid for us. Zinnia can draw us 5 cards here, which I'm actually like not super opposed to. So we'll Level Ball first. Level Ball is going to grab us our other Wattrel, which we can keep. And we can use this Level Ball. And I don't even want to grab anything else just yet. So we'll Zinnia, get rid of these double Wattrels, draw a bunch of cards. Flamigo's really good. Murkrow's really good. Double Turbo's really good. So we'll drop the Flamigo. And Flamigo will insta-flock for us. We can grab these other Flamigos. I heavily doubt they're going to play Iono here. They're going to need Asada in order to attack with this Roaring Moon. So from here, we'll Level Ball and we'll grab ourselves Bidoof. We have Bibarel in hand, so that's pretty good. We'll do that. And now United Wings is going to be doing 0 damage. I think I actually want to put Murkrow down. I'll attach Double Turbo to Flamigo, and from there I want to pass. I don't want to put the Magma Basin in play right now. The reason is I don't want to give him a stadium to go off of for when we bring up Flamigo, but they have Pokestop right now anyway, so I don't mind that. We'll actually hit that Pokestop as well. It's pretty decent for us. I actually considered playing it in the deck before I had the Radiant Charizard play, and they're going to go for concealed cards on a Lightning Energy. Now the thing is, they don't have a lot of energy in the discard pile. Their Pokestop was decent, not great for them. Could have been much better for sure. However, like, they need to get Asada. If they play the Lumineon, they can get Asada here. They're going to go for a Cross Switcher play, which I actually find really interesting. On Bidoof here, do they have a Dark Patch in hand? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. They're going to go for an Ultra Ball here. It's got to be a Lumineon for Sada. There's no way it isn't. Yeah, there's no way it wasn't a Lumineon for Sada there. Because they need to... Or they can put the... Okay, so they're going really crazy here. They attach for turn. We need to find a Sada plus a double E-switch in order to get the Iron Hands online. Interesting. They have one E-switch. They need to know... Okay, this Sada is going to be really interesting. Oh man, I'm a little scared now. They need to find another E-switch. They're down 2. They played the Pokestop already. They have Vessel. I don't think they have it this turn, which is pretty good for us. Again, we can also target down their Lumineon, which is why Wattrel's pretty good. I forgot about that. I should have kept the other Wattrels. We can get them back later. That's okay. Interesting. They're leading the Squawk, which is also interesting, and they're going to pass. Okay. First order of business is a Pokestop. 100%. Decent way to go here. We'll put down the Basin. We can... So right now, United Wings is doing how much? We're doing 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We need a lot to attack with to get a successful KO with Flamigo here. Or we can get the Wattrel. I should have saved... I couldn't have saved the energy attachment, though. That's the thing. Okay, let me get rid of this Flamigo. We'll get rid of the Fire Energy. We can also afford to get rid of a Dark Energy, honestly. We have both our switching outs. We have 2 double turbos. I think the correct way to play this is to just retreat into the Flamigo. I think that's the right way to do it. Retreat into the Flamigo. Put our barrel up. And now we go for the big research here. We're doing 80 damage, which is like, whatever, it's okay. Then we can put Zard down, which is, again, the main thing I was looking for, because if we throw down Zard, we can respond to this Iron Hands if they choose to go up with it next turn, and then we'll just United Wings. Again, a little bit of rough draws, but like not necessarily too terrible here, because now we're going to start our 2-shotting. We got Zard established, so we can 2-shot or 1-shot this Iron Hands. I don't know if they play Bravery Charm. I hope they don't, because that would be really rough for us. However, they can't KO us with Ampy very much on the Radiant Charizard, so that's okay. They already played 2 Cross Switcher. They're down 3, so their only other out to a boss is a boss. And here they're going to need to Sada. Again, that's fine. They can put 1 energy on this Roaring Moon, draw some cards. They got to get a Dark Patch plus Switch or Dark Patch plus attach, or attach plus switch in order to get this going here. This switch cart isn't super relevant. They gotta have the energy switch here, or an attachment from hand. There's a 4 seal stone, so they do have it, but we have the Radiant Zard to respond, thankfully, because they're gonna be taking 2 prizes, and if they take 2 prizes, we get to do a nice 230 after a double turbo attachment. So that's a-okay with me here. And now, yeah, we're just gonna see them go for an Ampy very much. It looks like they're getting Greninja prepped as well, which is a little bit concerning. But the Ampy very much, again, is gonna be fine. I'm not super concerned because we can easily go 2-2-2. Yeah, there's that Amp just for a solid 100 damage. And they're gonna knock out and take 2 prizes, but they don't know the sauce of the Radiant Zard that's gonna come through. And we actually have Roxanne for later in the game, which can really, really hurt them a lot here. So a double turbo going down on this Radiant Zard is pretty decent. I gotta save this basic Dark Energy here, and this Ultra Ball is gonna be good because I need to grab Manaphy. Manaphy's a must now, because they should have 1 E-Switch left, and 1 E-Switch plus an attach is gonna be really bad for us. So we can do this, draw a bunch more cards, and I don't necessarily want to play any of these right now. We're down, I think, 1 counter catcher only. So next turn, I'd like to go for a Roxanne play, but for now, this is completely fine. We'll literally just go for the Radiant Zard. 230 is easy peasy, and yeah, if I can get a counter catcher Roxanne next turn, I'd be a very happy guy. We another double turbo energy, which is like, again, these are cards I don't want to be discarding. I can't afford to. We're down a lot of energy so far. We got to find a Rod. Like, there's a lot we need to do here. They're putting a Moltres on the bench. They're not going to be able to get Manaphy off the field. Again, no cross switchers now. Getting that water energy. So then we're going to be able to go for a Greninja play next turn, which is really, really scary. So being able to just kind of maneuver around that with Radiant Zard. They could attack us with Luminion if they didn't commit that energy already. Again, they needed to threaten it though. So here's an energy switch, most likely going onto the moon. And they're going to have to go for a Calamity Storm here and take a knockout on our Radiant Zard. And now, an Iono on us is interesting. It's not that bad because we have Bibarel, and we have a lot of waste left in the hand. I'm actually really happy with this hand. Because now what we can do, they're only going to be taking 1 prize for the rest of the game, most likely. Is we can just go another 2-2. There is a world where we could take a knockout on Roaring Moon, but, you know, again, not necessarily easy to do. Again, if we can find Boss, we can also knock out this Mew here. So that's another option for us. And I'm thinking the best way to do it is probably lead the Murkrow, just because Ditto's more versatile. I'd like to probably just bring Murkrow front and center, because we can, if we find counter catcher, we counter catcher up the Mew and we KO that anyway. So that's a pretty decent spot for us to be in. But we'll start with level balls here. We'll get another Murkrow. That Murkrow can go away. This level ball, I think, will grab us a Ditto, and Ditto will go onto the bench. And we'll attach here. And this Ultra Ball is going to get rid of these double Murkrows here. And now we have a couple of options. I mean, we got 2 counter catchers, we got a Boss, we got Roxanne, we got a lot that we can draw off of these 5 cards here. So hopefully they are something good. Counter catcher is exactly what we wanted to get here. Doing 180, we can take out this this Mew. And I don't even want a Pal Pad just yet, right? Like, I want to just counter catcher, I can take out the Mew, and then I just need to find Boss after. Which I think is fine. Yeah, I'll counter catcher, do that, and just United Wings, boom. Nice, solid 360 damage. And the good thing about this is, you know, another United Wings in the discard means that we have more options to do bigger damage. Bidoof and Wattrel off the prizes. A counter catcher won't be active this turn, but I don't think there's a way they can cross switcher Cologne. So we'll have to see what exactly is going to happen. They have a Pokestop. They're going to be milling themselves down quite a bit. Ultra Ball and Battle VIP Pass is a little bit interesting. So we can go for a Dark Patch there. They're going to hit it on the Roaring Moon. That's okay. They have a Super Rod though, so they won't deck themselves out anytime soon. Another option that they have is a Thornton play with Iron Hands, but it looks like they're just putting energy back in the deck because they need to have more options. And there's a Dire Flame Wings. We're going to start attaching here. Again, this is getting to be a little bit of a challenging spot for us to be in. They're going to Calamity Storm, get rid of the Murkrow. Would have been nice to be able to use that Murkrow, because here if they're able to get a Thornton Iron Hands play, we're going to be in trouble. We kind of got to win the game here, so we'll see what they do. Leading, I think, is this a challenge, because we can lead Ditto, but then if they get Thorn Iron Hands, we lose. We can lead Wattrel, because then we just need Boss to win. Actually, if we get Boss, we win anyway with Ditto, so I think that's fine. We get Roxanne. Roxanne, I think, could be a really good play. So what I want to do, I think, our other Bibarel's down there. Yeah, okay, this is, I think, I'm content with this. Throw the Ditto down. And at this point, we'll just hit the Roxanne. Big Roxanne. We're doing 180, so we're actually doing a good chunk of damage to this Roaring Moon. And we do find our boss for after. Find Switch. We have everything we need pretty much. Earthen Vessel's not really needed. It's just going to be United Wings here. Their only way of drawing is like a top deck, right? They can KO us with this Roaring Moon, then we just have counter catcher access and we win. My heart's a little beating. They need to get specifically Lightning Energy Thornton in order to win the game here. I believe this deck plays Thornton, which is why I'm scared of it. The chances aren't exactly super, you know, slim. I mean, we Roxanne them, but they have a 3-card hand. They need a very specific hand combo here. So if they have an energy, like a Lightning Energy, they can conceal the cards, but then they have to get a, what's it called? They're going for a rope, which is fine. I'll just kind of feed them Ditto. I don't want to feed the Manaphy in case they play a Cologne, and they have an attachment plus a cross switcher. There's the Radiant Greninja coming out. And there's a boss's orders likely on the Bibarel. We have Switch in hand. There's no way for them to draw, which means that we have the game. That was actually really close, really stressful, but we can switch right into Wattrel. And we have that double turbo attachment, and the big old boss's orders can bring up this Squawkabilly. United Wings for 360 damage, taking that KO in the final 2 prizes of the game. That Roxanne did come in really clutch there, and yeah, that's why I love Roxanne in this deck. I love this deck so much. It's really fun, and I think it's actually pretty good. Our opponent is calling the coin flip here. So they got a Gardevoir coin. It is Tails, which I believe is good for us. We do not want to go first here. And Gardevoir is actually a pretty decent matchup for us as long as we can take the first KO reasonably quickly, which is usually possible, depending on what we got here. Now, this hand is almost good. This hand is very much so almost good. If we have an Ultra Ball or something, and if it is Gardevoir, which it looks like it is, we can actually take out a Ralts or whatever they put into the active because it's weak to dark, with dark energy. We're good to go here. We get Earthen Vessel and Level Ball. We're so close to getting a KO. We literally just need it. Like, if we get Ultra Ball, we're chilling here. So we'll wait to see. They just start with the VIP pass naturally, which is pretty solid for them. And we're going to see they get Radiant Greninja, they get Ralts. The good thing about this is we don't play any 2-prize liabilities, but we have our work cut out for us because they have the double VIP pass start. So things might be a little bit challenging here. I'm not sensing a Mirage Step, but if that's the extent of their turn, that's okay. And we thankfully get the Ultra Ball off the top. So we'll go for a Level Ball. We'll grab Bidoof here. And because we're definitely gonna get a Bibarel in play. So we'll go for the Bidoof. Jirachi is important in this matchup as well. Put Flamigo down, and what Flamigo is going to do is Flamigo is going to grab us the rest of our Instaflock guys, and this is the power kind of right of United Wings here. We can get rid of both of these. Grab a Bibarel, and what I want Bibarel to do, like right here, we're taking a knockout with United Wings, so I'm not super worried. So what I want to do with this is I want to Level Ball, and we don't have another Bidoof, unfortunately, but I do want to grab Murkrow, because we have Earthen Vessel to attack with it next turn, as long as we have the energy we need, which we do. So I want to grab Murkrow, and I want to put Jirachi down so we can protect against Cresselia. Earthen Vessel away this Flamigo, and I'll grab 2 Dark Energies. Keep the Magma Basin for now, and we'll just United Wings. Easy, boom, easy first turn knockout. Now they really need to get Rare Candy Guardy in order to stay in this game, and then, you know, in the late game, we just hopefully find our boss, bring up that Guardy EX, and take a KO. So right now, they're going to need a Rare Candy. They could go for a Mirage Step, but that'll put them really far behind. Again, Jirachi's really good, but they're going to Iono us, which is actually a little bit of a pain because it gets rid of our Dark Energies, but we have 2 more Earthen Vessel to go through, so I'm not, like, the most worried. An Ultra Ball is going to get us up a barrel. Again, that is A-okay with me. Now, they need to get a bunch of energy in the discard pile, and they also need to find Rare Candy Guardy. They have a Level Ball, so they can go through and get their Curlia, start doing some refinements, but if they can't get a knockout this turn, I think things are going to be really challenging for them, and we actually have an attack next turn anyways. If they knock out this Murkrow, that's going to mean that we're doing 100 damage with Flamigo plus DTE. So that's... No, hold on. What am I saying? 60 damage with Flamigo DTE, but we have the Ultra Ball for the other Murkrow in hand, so we'll be okay. Manaphy could also be useful in this matchup because if we want to get ourselves a, what's it called? If we want to get protection from Scream Tail, I think it's really important. But they do opt to grab the Mirage Step Curlia, which is really good for us. It is, however, weak to Metal. Thankfully, we do get the knockout here. And they're going to Mirage Step for a single Curlia, which is good for them, obviously. But not getting an attack this turn is pretty bad. So I think the way I want to play this hand here, we'll go ahead, attach to Flamigo, and Ultra Ball away these two little lads, and we're going to grab ourselves a Bibarel. We want to be drawing more cards here. We're doing 100 with this Murkrow, but I actually think I want to switch into Flamigo here. And the reason I want to switch into Flamigo is because we're still taking the knockout with United Wings, but the Murkrow plus Dark Energy is really strong, and Manaphy could be really good in here, so they can't counter catch up a Bibarel snipe something. So we'll go for the Industrial Synthesizers for 5, and we get Research as well. And they're just going to scoop. Yeah, that is incredible. I'm gonna still include this in the video because it just shows Gardevoir EX. Look how strong our board was looking against them, right? Like we were able to just go boom, boom, boom. They got a really good start too. They had double VIP pass and they still felt, they're like, you know what? I'm not gonna beat this. I just gotta concede it. And I think that's actually something that's really, really incredible. So United Wings gets its first Gardevoir dub of the day. So what did you think of my United Wings deck? I am a huge fan of it. I think it's really, really fun. Again, I've been getting some really good draws, really bad draws. Like I've beaten Charizard, Guardy, Lost Box. I've beaten pretty much everything in the book, but sometimes the deck can brick a little bit, even though in theory it's really consistent. Maybe it's just live randomization, I'm not too sure. But again, I'm a fan of how the deck plays. I could see more discard coming in with draw supporters. Boss is really good, but you could maybe go down to 2 counter catcher, put in another Zinnia or something. Pal Pad's also really, really good in this deck as long as you draw half decent. I'm really a fan of this. You could even go thinner on energy, maybe 3 dark, 2 fire, 4 double turbo is good, because then you can add more space for drawing cards. Cards I can see come into this deck are like Serena. I could see you play another Zinnia. I could see something, probably another Zinnia is the way to go if you want more draw, straight up draw. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of this deck. I really do enjoy it. I think it's a lot of fun, and I want to thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed, and comment down below what do you think of this United Wings deck. What do you like? What do you dislike? What would you keep? What would you change about it? And with all said and done, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel because I'm posting multiple Pokemon trading card game videos every single week here on the Hitmonchanting channel. And like the video just if you enjoyed it one more time. And with all said and done, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, Hitmonchanting out.